My new goal in-game is to become RuneScape's richest player, and considering I have almost 8 years of direct money-making experience, I think I'm the best man for the job. In this new series, I'm going to showcase everything I do to make bank in old-school RuneScape. And if you know me already, then you'll know that I am obsessed with money-making in RuneScape, so I'll showcase everything I'm doing in-game to make double-digit millions daily. This includes flipping items on the Grand Exchange, endgame PVM, and of course, other in-game opportunistic moneymakers that I may come across. Right now, my bank is about 5 billion GP, so my next milestone will be 10 bill, which I'll be trying to get as quickly as possible. As always, guys, if you enjoy this series and enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, and let's get into it. Starting off the series strong with some PVM, we're going to run a few raids and see if we can get lucky. We'll primarily be doing 150s. First raid of the series complete, hoping for that purple, of course. And the loot was okay, 478k, we'll definitely take it. Day 1 of the series and our first overnight flipping session. I am excited. I'm hoping to hit some huge items overnight, and we're going to balance the cash stack between a few medium to low volume expensive items, and we'll get some high volume items in there to ensure some profit. All of the flips are listed. We're actually starting to have a little bit of buy opportunity on the Grimy Ranar Weed and the Grazis, but I digress. I think these flips are going to work out overnight, so let's sign on in the morning and see if we've had any luck. I think we had some really good luck overnight. I'm about to collect it and see what our profit is. There we go, an insane profit, guys. 2.6 mil on 4 Dragon Hunter crossbows for a total of 8.7 mil overnight. That is a really good overnight session. Very happy with those results. But we do need to keep in mind that I haven't sold the Grazis yet, so we could lose maybe a mil on those. So we'll say about 7.5 mil in profit just to be safe. If we can do that every night this week, that's an additional 52 mil in our cash stack. Alright, second raid of the series, and never lucky, of course. Check the loot, and garbage. Alright, raid 3, resumed in here. Let's see what we get. Oh, no way! Let's go! Raid number 3, we've got a drop. We got a drop in Bucket's name. Let's see what it is. It's not going to be a shadow. I don't want to get my hopes up on that, but we'll take anything besides a light bearer. Oh, okay. Haven't seen the Fang yet. We'll take that. That should be about, let's say about 9 mil in the stack. Back for another night of flipping. The good news is we've got 7 Grand Exchange slots and 1.8 bill. And we had a huge profit the other night. But the bad news is we have a ton of Grazis which did not sell. I'm going to leave them for another 24 hours in hopes that we can sell them. But if they don't sell at this price, we're looking at like an 8 mil loss, which would be really, really bad. That being said, if we keep flipping, we can maybe cover for some of those losses. So that's why I'm going to list my Grand Exchange full of some flips. Here are the item investments for tonight. We're playing it relatively safe with 2 high volume items, and our listings are a little bit low. We're trying to cash items on the crash tonight, as we do have a lot of risk with all of the Grazis sitting here. That's 420 mil locked up in the Grazis right now. Really hope we don't lose money on that. But anyway, we're going to go to bed, wake up in the morning, and see what kind of profit we've got. It is the next morning. We've had a bit of buying activity across the board, so what I'm going to do is cancel all the offers that have done nothing and sell back the ones that have halfway completed. Also might lower the sell price on the Grazi, so it will be an even bigger loss, but not a huge deal. We just really need to get out of the flip at this point. All of the overnight flips have been completed. That is a 5.1 mil profit, which is solid. Now, the only thing that is not working out for us is still these Grazis. So at this point, I'm going to lower the Grazi offer again. We're down another mil each on every single Grazi. So this shows as a really good example of why you should not hold on to items that are downtrending. We bought these for 53.2 mil, and we're going to be selling them for around 51.5 if they do sell at this level. I have been trying to sell them. They just have not sold so far. And that means we're basically actually losing about 2 mil on every single Grazi. So that's going to be like a minus 16 million GP loss. Pretty much negates all the flipping profit we've made this episode if we sell at that level. But it's a great reminder that if an overnight flip doesn't work out, do not hold on for it for too long. Honestly, I got a bit ignorant on this one. I haven't logged in for about 24 hours, and I thought they were pretty much guaranteed to be sold at the 52 mil mark, and that's not the case. If an overnight flip goes badly, just take the loss. Trust me, it's way easier to make up for the profit on the next night. While we wait for these to sell, I'm actually going to do a little bit of an active flipping session and try to flip some high margin items here and see if I can make some profit. I just launched a RuneScape investment newsletter, which points out the best item investments I find within the game every single month. So if you're someone who wants to make long-term investments in game, but don't have the time or expertise to find good flip opportunities, consider checking out my Patreon page with the link in the description below. I also have written flipping guides, item flipping lists, and an example newsletter that you can view completely for free. Anyway, back to the video. And look at that, the first flip complete, the Void Waker flipping for 100k, which is pretty good actually. We also just finished the Dragon Claws as well. That is a 440k profit, 110k per claw. Nothing crazy, but again, solid gains. Nice, we just hit a 1.5 mil flip on the Elysian Spirit Shield. I love flipping the Elysian. I don't know why. It's just one of those classic RuneScape items, and it always has a good margin. I'm going to go back and flip another one of these for a little bit higher of a price than we bought for prior. We'll try to get maybe another mil to 2 mil on the Elysian. It is the next day. I ended the flipping session without recording too many clips, but we were able to make about 4.4 mil last night in about 45 minutes of flipping. Nothing crazy. We just listed a few easy flips, got some cash coming in. Remember, it is better to be consistent with your flips and keep bringing in money than it is to maximize every single flip you're doing and not flip every day. We also sold off some of the Grazis, which is good, but we still have not sold all of them, which is kind of crazy. I guess we'll lower the offer yet again to try to get the rest of these off. This has been a really bad situation for us, but we are slowly making our profit back, and we'll be able to flip our way out of this loss in no time. Alright, it's been like 3 hours. I logged off for a bit, but an update on the session. We are currently up about 6 mil for today, which is pretty good. And I also bought the Third Age Robe Top, and I'm going to sell this back for around 305 mil. So this will actually be a really good flip. We're making really good pace on getting out of our loss on Grazis. So we'll go ahead and flip this up. And actually, before I sell it back, I'm going to check the graph just to make sure, because we might be able to get a little bit more profit on it. But besides that, we're going to collect these Ancestral Robe Tops, made a ton of bank on the Elysian Spirit Shields today, some good money on the Burning Claws as well, and kind of just some really standard flips all around, trying to get into some bigger items. Alright, we loaded up the Grand Exchange with our offers, and we're focused a lot more on the high volume tonight. Just thought we'd change it up a little bit. And as always, we'll see how it goes, currently on the profit journey of our lives. Alright, it is the next morning, and we didn't have a ton of luck on our flips, to be quite honest, but we did sell the Third Age Robe Top. That is an 8.1 mil flip, which is just an insane margin. As you can see here, we're up 13 mil the past day. All of those items sold off. That is a 2.6 mil profit added to the stack. Aww. No purple, never lucky. Okay, 388k, not bad. Second raid of today. Oh no. Oh, never lucky. Check the loot. Only 300k in loot. Not amazing, but we'll take it. Raid number 3. No purple. Alright, we'll see what we get for the loot. Oh wow, 847k. We will definitely take that. While I was raiding, I did set some flips. Now, we did buy the Torva Full Helm, but I'm currently selling that back. We did sell the Elder Maul successfully, though. That is a 1 mil profit on the Elder Maul, so we'll take that into the stack. We're also trying to flip the Temekan Shadow, which I bought just to use in raids. And we'll have a few more flips here on the Amulet of Torture and the Dragon Claws. I promise you, if you get into the habit of setting overnight flips and also flips while you're playing, you will naturally build your bank over time, and you'll have more money than you know what to do with. And there is another 3.4 mil profit. Super simple flips that we set while we were raiding. 1 mil on the Elder Maul, and pretty solid flips all around besides that. Now let's go ahead and list our overnight flips to profit as much as we can in a 24-hour time frame. Here are the overnight flips for tonight. It's mostly gear-related items tonight, so we'll have a smaller chance of hitting the right prices, but if we do, we should make more money. We also have the crushed nests, which are not a high volume item, but there are a fair bit of trades. We should be able to flip this for a pretty nice margin like we did the other night. We had a little bit of luck last night. We bought a little bit over half of our items, and most of it is looking good besides the Sanguesti stabs, but we'll answer that question in a minute. We're just going to go ahead and flip everything around for their standard margin. We are looking at a pretty good profit here, I think, so not too worried about getting the exact pricing right. It is a new day. Today, I'm going to focus on flipping high margin items. We're going to try and trade 2 to 3 high margin items at the same time and see if we can hit some good margins. This is my preferred active strategy, and if I decide to do some PVM later today, I'll likely list some passive high volume flips. There we go, 2 of my favorite flips listed, the Elysian Spirit Shield and the Scythe of Vitur. The Scythe has had a lot more volume recently, as that new Spider update is coming out. I can't even remember his name right now, but that has brought a lot of speculation into the Scythe, so we should be able to flip this for some pretty good margins. I also put the slot timers back on to help us keep track of how long these flips have been sitting. I had some offers in for about an hour, but was only able to get 1 successful flip through, and that was the Elysian for a 1.3 mil margin. But we're back online now, so I'm going to try and squeeze a few more flips in. We snuck in some cheeky flips for a profit of 7.2 mil. We hit 2 million GP on the Dragon Hunter Lances, and we were able to flip an Elysian for 1.3 mil. Couple solid 1 mil plus flips that we had, as well as some decent other ones. Going to load up the Grand Exchange with our overnight flips, and we'll see just at how much profit we're looking at tomorrow. Alright, we've got a bunch of flips listed. I couldn't find a lot of high margin items that looked really great overnight. These were the 3 best that I found, so I ended up listing a lot of high volume stuff. We have 3 super safe high volume flips, and the Blighted Super Restores and Vials of Blood are a little bit riskier. Vials of Blood are extremely risky, so I'm hoping that one pays off. Alright, it's the next morning. We had some luck, a lot of luck all around for the most part, besides the Soul Runes and the Torva Plate Bodies. So what I'm going to do is cancel the offers that didn't buy, and we'll just sell everything back that we have. We've settled some really nice flips over the past 4 days. We're up 12 mil, and that's not a crazy profit by any means, but I haven't been doing a lot of flipping this weekend. Just remember that consistent gains is really where you're going to make your money and grow your bank. Just work on making X mil per day and do that every single day. I'm about to hit up some raids, so I think I'm going to try and get the Temeken's Shadow here. We'll leave the offer in for about 20 minutes. If we don't buy it, we'll just hop in and do the raids without it. Yes, sir. Oh, no purple. Dang it. And a chance for the pet? Absolutely not. It's been a couple of days, but I do have good news. We were able to sell the Temeken's Shadow, and we did make a small profit on it. Walking away with a nice 1.5 mil profit, and don't forget that we did use this in raids, so we honestly made a bag on this. You'll see me utilize that a lot in this series. I often will buy and then sell back expensive items for a profit. I also set some flips in the meantime, and these manta rays are going to make us bank. They're currently selling for 1,630, so we're going to list all of them for 1,630 and sell them all back. That is going to be a very, very nice profit. Alright, we've got a bunch of new flips set. We also have some of our old flips still sitting on the Grand Exchange, as I think they might work out. That being the Cooked Moonlight Antelope and the Trover Parchments. We'll let these marinate in the Grand Exchange for, I would say, probably about 24 hours before I check these, and hopefully we're coming back to a good profit. And we're back. It has actually been 48 hours, and the only flip we successfully snuck through was the Zarite Vambraces. We were able to make 6 mil on these, which is quite a good flip, especially considering we might be down bad on the Webweaver Bows. We're going to try to sell them for about a 400k loss each, which is a pretty bad loss. Pretty much breaking even considering the Zarite Vambraces profit. Okay, quick update. We took a major L on the Webweaver Bows. I bought too many and held them for too long during a downtrend, and now we're down 15 mil on the Webweaver Bows alone. So because of that, of course, we've got to do some more overnight flipping. We've got some super simple flips in the Grand Exchange, 2 safe high volume flips with items that have been experiencing a little bit higher of a volatility. Then we also have the Temecan Shadow and Elysian Spirit Shields in, trying to get some good profit on that. Now I'm going to leave these flips for a little bit shorter than I normally do, maybe 5 to 6 hours. We'll come back and check on them and hope we can make some of that profit back. It has been 3 hours and we successfully flipped the Temecan's Shadow. We made a 2.1 mil profit on the flip, which is nothing crazy, but we'll definitely take that. I was thinking about holding this until tomorrow and using it for a few raids, but right now I don't really think I want to take too much downside risk, considering we just lost 15 mil. And there is a nice and easy 110k on the steel bars, nothing crazy, but we'll take it. I'm going to keep my offer in for the Elysian Spirit Shields. We also bought all of the Dragon Hunter crossbows as well, and we're trying to sell these slightly above margin. It's the next day, and wow, we bought everything. Some of these items are looking good, some of them not as good. So let me do some price checks and see how much I think we can make and get this stuff listed back on the exchange. Before we dive further into it though, we did make 1.6 mil on the Dragon Hunter crossbows, which is a 410k profit each overnight, so that's pretty good. And the Bow of Faerine has sold 1.8 mil total profit, 960k on each of those, very good. Everything has sold. That was a 980k profit on the Elysian Spirit Shield, but even better, we got a 2.3 mil profit on the Grimy Ranarr Weed. This is a super consistent high volume item for me, and just from those flips alone that we've just done, we're up 8.7 mil. Going in for another round of overnight flips. Tonight we have primarily low volume items listed, mostly gear related stuff, but we also have the Grimy Ranarr Weed because that worked really well for us last night. And I find that anytime an item works really well for me in the past 24 hours, I will often try and flip it again. It is the next morning, and not all of our items bought overnight, but we did get a few, and I think we'll be able to turn these for a profit. So while I do think we should hold this, I'm not entirely sure, considering we've already taken 2 major L's just by holding items accidentally, and I'm trying to justify if a 10 mil loss is really worth taking versus hoping that this flips around. Regardless though, pretty successful on the other stuff, 3 mil profit, primarily again driven by the Grimy Ranarr Weed, 1.8 mil. This has been a really good item for us the past few days. We made some money on the Armadillo crossbows and the rune pouch notes as well, but honestly, nothing crazy. This is a tricky situation because this means the bow has crashed about 7 mil in the past 12 hours, and if that's the case, I don't really expect it to downtrend that aggressively without any news. Messing up a lot of these larger trades on this first episode, which I need to improve. I just have not been monitoring the prices as closely as I should. The downside is pretty large though, so I do think maybe a 10 mil loss is not the worst thing, but I'm pretty frustrated that we're running into this right now. It has been a few days, and we've done a little bit of flipping on the Grand Exchange. We did lose money on the Bow of Faerine, but I am going to wrap up the episode here, and we'll take a look at how much overall profit I've made. So considering everything on the Grand Exchange at current GE values, we have a 2.21 billion GP in the Grand Exchange, and within the bank we have about 3 billion, so that is a 70 mil profit this episode. This is the end of the first episode in our quest to get as rich as possible in old school RuneScape. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely drop a like if you did, and I'll see you all in the next episode.